Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the KSL.com Game Center podcast. It is Thursday, February 16th. We are joined by Utah Jazz beat writer Ryan Miller, who is back in Utah after joining the Jazz on their most recent road trip, their last few games before going on a break for All-Star Weekend this weekend, which, as it happens, is here in Salt Lake. So,
Woo!
not much of a break for our guy Ryan, but how you feeling coming off of that road trip?
Oh, fine. Just doing great. The airport looks like it got a nice facelift on our way, or from our way out to our way in. So, a lot of signage is up, a lot of posters, a lot of banners. And this morning was crazy actually. So I flew in. I think we got in at like 10 a.m. Took an early flight out of Memphis because I wasn't really sure what was going on Thursday, and thankfully there was a lot of stuff going on Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon. So had to kind of get back here to cover all of that. But it was nuts seeing how many people not only were in the airport, but how many famous people that were there. Like everyone that's been to a Salt Lake airport knows about like the missionary run where it's like, hey, welcome home, sister, welcome home, elder. You had all that, and then it was like the other side, it was just like a bunch of limo services and like TNT, ESPN, Clutch Sports, like player, and you could just like we saw a bunch of players there, a bunch of agents, some celebrities. Well, people told me they were celebrities. I won't pretend to know who they were, but it was like, oh, that's that person. I'm like, sure. But it's an interesting scene right now in Salt Lake as everyone starts to fly in for the weekend festivities.
Can you give us a quick taste of just who are some of those faces that you saw on your way in?
Again, I don't know. I'm just saying I was with people that said
I
they were
see.
famous.
Okay. So yeah. So there
But
are
no, there was a lot of people there.
yeah.
Like, because usually you go on a weekday morning on the Salt Lake airport, it's a pretty dead time.
Yeah.
Like, legit, it was crazy. And like the limo services alone were very funny to me. I'm like, okay, like I didn't know we had these in Salt Lake, but there is a lot of people just waiting for limos. So, no, it's interesting. We'll see. It'll the city will feel a little different over the next 3 days. That's for sure.
Truly. And I think, trying to balance, as you were kind of pointing out to me before we started recording this, everything else that goes on around the actual game itself, kind of like, the parties and the spectacle of it, trying to kind of separate that from, okay, is there actual like sporting value to what's going on this weekend, right? And I think we can kind of point to, luckily, the Jazz and their players are quite well represented in a lot of things that are going to be going on this weekend. So it'll be easy, I think, for a lot of local fans to kind of follow and get interested in more of the encore stuff that's going on. We found out this week that there's going to be a Team Utah in the in the skills challenge on Saturday evening. So that'll be a great opportunity for three of the Jazz players to participate, and then also, as we had previously learned, Walker Kessler going to be part of the Rising Stars game tomorrow night on Friday. So I'm just kind of curious, I coming off of this last off season and even a year ago, I think as far as the Jazz representation in this weekend, it might even be better than we had ever anticipated that it might be.
Funny enough, so I was talking to an executive before the season ever began, and we actually this got brought up of like, all stars here, but is it that fun? Because you probably you're looking at the roster and you're like, you're probably not going to have anyone. And they're like, the sentiment was like, I think they'll throw us a bone and we'll get someone in the 3-point contest. Like that was it. And it was like, that'll be great. We'll have a representative and that'll be our guy. We don't know who it will be, but hopefully we'll have somebody there. And to look at it, like every event is going to be a Utah representative outside of the dunk contest, and that's pretty impressive. Like yes, do they get Team Utah 100% a gimmick because they're the host city, and so that's fantastic. But it makes it fun, and so like and yeah, so like I talked to Will Hardy about this yesterday actually, and he was and he was like, no, like it's more like it gives us something to do, because yes, we're the host, but we're not gonna actually go. Sure, we're gonna meet our friends, we're gonna be there, we're gonna be, but it's like, no, gives us an appearance of like, oh, we're here for our guys. And so it's a great opportunity for these guys to kind of be at the center stage when they probably wouldn't have ever been. And so that it is kind of fun. I think when it comes to Saturday night, what I'm looking forward to is Lowry and the 3-point shooting contest. He apparently has been telling the Jazz that he is guaranteeing a victory. Um, so we'll see.
Love
I don't
that.
know. Yeah, why not? Have fun with it. So Walker Kessler in the skills challenge, I think, will be funny. He can handle the ball a little bit. He can shoot a little bit. So we haven't really seen that in an NBA game, but he has shown that in like pickup games and in practice. He kind of made the joke that he's been practicing with the lights off over the last month to get ready for this. So yeah, I think everyone's just ready to have fun. It makes it more interesting that there are so many players from Utah going to be represented, because otherwise, I don't know, I think it would have all felt a little like stale, like cool, like it's here, but we're not included at all. And so that, yeah, especially after the offseason they had when trading 2 All-Stars, like they probably, like, I don't want to say lucked out, because obviously the players were good, but yeah, kind of lucked out to having such a good representation this weekend.
For sure, for sure. And even, you kind of mentioned that with Team Utah and the skills challenge being a bit of a gimmick, and it's only because they're the host. But I've been pretty impressed so far. I got the chance to go to Vivint yesterday and kind of check out just the setup that they have, that the NBA has come in and kind of created there at Vivint Arena. And they as they were talking to us, I was pretty impressed with just kind of the amount of like coordination and like collaboration that's
Oh
gone on
yeah.
between just like the state of Utah and like Ryan Smith, and the NBA. Like there seems to be a genuine attempt to like really localize this, even if we can go into the price of the tickets and everything like that, and a lot of local people maybe not being able to go to the big game, but outside of the actual monetary aspect of it, it seems like there has been some effort to kind of make this our the Utah All-Star game.
And that is normal. Like, so the NBA, what they do is they go in and they talk to owners, they talk to like team management, and they're like, what is your vision for this thing? Like, and so what you're gonna see this weekend is Ryan and Ashley Smith's vision of Utah and what they want it to look like. Like, essentially that's what it is. And that is a gateway party, a art exhibit, all of these concert pop-ups, all like, yes, a lot of it is NBA, and that's going to be normal throughout throughout any All-Star game. But they try to make it local. And so the Ryan Smith's big push was like, we want more basketball courts at Crossover. Like, cool. Like, we're bringing back jam session. Like, yeah, like cool. Like I think there has been a little bit of mismessaging of that, because it almost sounds like this convention hasn't happened in 10 years. It has. It's every year. The difference in Utah, there's just more basketball courts in it. And they're calling that jam session, which is great. Cool. Like, fun. People like playing basketball. But like, yeah, so yeah, you'll see some local, like they try to localize it. You have the snowboarding competition on Friday and Saturday, which is fun. Like, and so you do have some Utah-esque things. Um, my my jaded heart on this event at this point, I'll admit. It's like it kind of bothers me to see like the free fares of UTA. We're gonna do all, like, you almost bend over backwards to do all the things that Utah, like the citizens of Salt Lake have wanted them to do for so long. Like, yeah, we also want just a cool place to go walk around and hang out at night. Like that's very normal in every city to have a gathering place, and it's like,
Yeah.
now we have one because everyone's coming in. It's like why don't you just do this normally? Why isn't you
Right.
like so? And I get it, like it's a big event that happens all the time, but like, again, it'll be a nice big party for a weekend. A lot of things you can do, and you don't have to pay anything. Like, that's what is fun about it. There are a lot of free events, a lot of events. Like, we've tried, like, we had a story I think last week of like, here's all the things you can do on a budget type stuff, but like, even since then I've had probably at least 50 emails of like, we're also doing this and
Yeah.
this and this, and you're like, Okay, you're getting to a point where it's like it's too much. Like if you're interested to do something, just search anything. There will be a concert, there will be a party, there will be pop-up shops, there's shopping, there are conventions, there's so many things going on this weekend. Yes, does a lot of it feel corporate sponsory? It does, because it is. But that doesn't mean it's not fun. And so like even with the game itself, I think it's like, yes, is it going to be pure basketball on Saturday and Sunday? No, the All Star game is like boring. It might get interesting at the end when competitive. So, no, this isn't like the pure art form of basketball, but it's still fun. So, like, same with the weekend. It's not pure art form. It's not exactly how you wish it was. You wish it wasn't so corporate sponsory, but it's still fun. So, like, there's still a lot to enjoy out there.
No, certainly, and I think that's kind of the big word here, right? Is fun. And it's supposed to be a fun weekend for the players and the teams in the league as much as it is for the people that live here and come into town. I think that, obviously, as you mentioned, you saw in the airport today, there's a lot of people coming into town for this to just be a part of it, to be part of the spectacle, to kind of enjoy what is being offered here at NBA All Star Weekend in Salt Lake.
I do have a question for you, Caleb.
Yeah.
You're the one that saw the Vivint. Are they gonna be able to get a different video? Because Mike Conley's still on the Team Utah intros, is what I saw.
Yes, that is very true. So they were doing kind of a whole dress rehearsal and when I was there, it was just for the Saturday night stuff. And they introduced Team Utah, and sure enough, Mike Conley's there in the video along with Jordan Clarkson and Walker Kessler. But as they were at the audio, said Colin Sexton. So
I'm a little concerned. That's all I'm saying. And also, Colin Sexton tweaked his hamstring yesterday. So
oh, interesting.
I think he might have same thing with Lowry. Like I think they might have pulled him out as a precaution to be able to participate this weekend.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Lowry. Like he was joking after the game, like, this is probably the first time in my career I've like not played through like a little tiny injury.
Wow.
But he's like, I could, like, honestly, we were all talking, like, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if suddenly I blow out my knee because of it, and I'm suddenly missing the opportunity of a lifetime, essentially. Like he's starting in the All-Star game. Like there's probably like in the you can look and say, okay, he might get better, he might become the next Dirk Nowitzki, as some people have made that comparison, but like he might not, and this might be his one shot. I don't think he wants to take the risk of potentially missing that. He's flying his whole family out.
Oh wow.
Costed him a ton of money. They do not get as many tickets as you think they would get. So like, but like, yeah. So it'll like, so I think Colin was probably the same thing. He probably tweaked it a little bit, but essentially just wanted to save himself for this weekend. At least that's what I would hope at this point. I haven't heard anything to contradict that, so that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I mean, if Lowry's not able to participate, he can't guarantee the 3-point shootout win, that he promised
exactly
the Jazz. So
yeah, it'll be a busy weekend for him. So, but it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to, like, all the events. I think are going to be very, very, very fun. I wish it was more accessible for the Utah audience. I really do. As soon as I saw those ticket prices, I was like, my heart dropped, because it was like, man, no one's gonna be able to go to this thing. Like obviously some people will, but like, man, like you're looking at $1,000 just to get into something. Like,
yeah,
I don't think many people can stomach paying $4,000 to go take a family to an All-Star event. So that's why I'm glad there's like free stuff around it. It is just a bummer that it does feel like just an elite rich party for the main events, though.
Yeah, and I think from people that I've had the chance to talk to that are interested in going, it's maybe not, obviously a lot of people can't afford to go to the big game itself on Sunday, with those tickets being upwards of $1,000. But I think a lot of them have just wanted to be a part of it in any way they can, whether that means just coming downtown and checking it out, going to the crossover event, going to one of the other games, right? Like the G League game or the HBCU game or the Rising Stars game, or even going to the practice on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So there are kind of like a lot of these options, as you pointed out in the article that you wrote about kind of different, the price tiers of different things that people can go to. So I definitely would encourage anybody who's interested in kind of just being a part of this to go check out the things we've been writing on KSL.com to give you an idea of all these events that are going on. And just, follow us on social media. Check out KSL.com Sports, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and make sure you're following Ryan as well, as we kind of attempt to guide people through this chaotic weekend that is about to befall us here in Salt Lake.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It's like it essentially, like, I don't know, you almost can think of it like a college game day type thing.
Yeah.
Like cool, even if you aren't getting to be able to go to the game, like you can probably go and hang out on the campus, kind of get that vibe, and that'll be what downtown feels like. Like I drove around this morning on my way home from the airport, and it is fun. Like it's like you have all the banners everywhere, the Monster Jordan logo going up on the Radisson,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's silly and stupid, and does it feel like a massive commercial? It does, but whatever. It's still a good time. So like, the vibe of the city will feel different, but that's not a bad thing. So yeah, have a few 3 or 4 days and just have a good time with it.
It's a once every 30 years opportunity. The last time people were able to do this was back in the 90s. So
yes, and who knows what will ever happen again? Like,
exactly.
honestly, and so like I don't know. I'm sure the Jazz will get a new arena at some point, but like that doesn't automatic. Like I think there's like that almost belief that it's like, okay, you do something with your arena, you get the All-Star game. That's not the case. Like Milwaukee hasn't got the All-Star game. They just build a new arena. Detroit hasn't got the All-Star game. Just build a new arena. Like, so it doesn't guarantee you anything. And so it's like, it is nice to like, really what helps you guarantee it is a new arena in a warm city. But like Utah doesn't have the warm city.
Well, I was gonna say, it was starting to warm up a little bit here while you were gone. We were getting into like the low to mid 40s. And then people started coming in for All-Star Weekend, and Salt Lake said, "Nope, we're going back to 30 degrees."
I haven't even looked at the weather's not bad. It's gonna be like in the 40s on Sunday. It's not bad.
Okay. Well,
actually, they probably lucked out when it comes to the weather. We were all laughing about this a few weeks ago. Like it's like, man, I hope it's just a huge snowstorm. Give us 4 feet like we were hitting in like December. I just think it would have been hilarious. But yeah. Like, let's see how all the NBA world reacts to being in a blizzard for the weekend. Like, it's been funny.
And they will never come back here again.
Exactly. but yeah, so it'll be fun. Hopefully, we'll see. It's an NBA event, and so it's like we've heard a lot of the all the city and how the team has helped organize it. Like in the end, the league comes in, organizes it, so it really should go on without a hitch and be just perfect and fine. They've been doing this for a long time, so and there's a lot of goodwill that comes from it. Like all the charities that get benefited from this, and so like there are a lot of positives that come out of this, even if it does feel very commercialized. And so you kind of have to just think of all those cool things. Like, all right, vibe of the city will be fun, a lot of interesting things to do for 3 days, and a lot of people get a lot of money from it. So all right, it's all good, even if it does feel commercialized.
Exactly. Well, I hope everyone is able to enjoy this in some aspect, even if you're just watching it at home. Should be a fun time. Cheer on those Jazz players. And yeah, we will catch you guys next time on the KSL.com Game Center podcast.